All right. Hello, friends. Let me just double check to make sure I am in our group. Hope you guys are off to a good week, a good start for school. I can't believe it. Can't believe we're already into the middle of August. When did that happen? I'm telling you, I can't even wrap my head around it. It went by so quickly, and it's not slowing down for us at all, is it? All right, so it looks like we're good to go. All right, so today, in our Wellness Wednesday session, we're going to talk about essential oils and products for kids. I love using essential oils at home with my family. I find that one is very effective, and I know we've been doing this for quite a long time. So we have some first reach choices that are out and about, and my kids can grab them. Anybody can grab them and use them at any time whenever they feel they need that extra support. So what I really love about essential oils is I honestly do not have to worry about what they're grabbing. I'm not concerned if whether or not they happen to get some in their mouth or put it in a place where that's odd to me. Or I mean, I just don't have to worry. And they know what to choose and when to use it. So I really love that. But just know that that took time. That took time to educate myself on oils, and that took time to educate my children and my family on using those oils. So you can get there, and it's just building those habits and being consistent with it. And then your kids, your young people, your young people at home will be empowered to make those same kind of decisions for themselves. So I think it's really important. And if you've been reading some of the stuff, hanging out in our group, I provided a lot of resources for you so that you can start looking for answers and know where to find recipes and protocols and such. I think every home that has a box of oils needs to have a book of some kind. If you got a box of oils from someone on our team and you do not have a resource book, please reach out to me so that I can remedy that. There's no sense in you having a box of these beautiful gifts of the earth without knowing how to use them. And it's that we really pride ourselves with education to make sure that you know what you have, all those tools, and how to share them with your family. So, having said all that, I'm going to get started here with our presentation. And just know that I am just thrilled. I love this topic. I really do. I think it's really important for our kids to be empowered with tools to help navigate through whatever it is that they may be dealing with, whether it's something physical, something mental, emotional, spiritual. It's all connected, and I just feel it's really important for our kids to have those resources and those tools. So let me get over there. All right, so I'd like you to take a few minutes just to kind of look at these 5 areas here and just kind of gauge how these are impacted when you're not feeling when you're not feeling your best, and when your kids aren't well. How are these impacted? How are your holidays impacted when somebody is down? They've caught a bug outdoors, or the kids brought home a germ from school and shared it with everybody in your home. How is your work impacted, whether you're working from home or you're having to go to your office? How is that impacted when somebody in your family, especially your kids, are not doing well? Travel. A lot of people travel during the fall, especially like during fall break, during the holidays. How is that impacted? When your family get-togethers, and even school. Think about those things and rate those areas just for your sake. You don't have to share them unless you want to. Rate those areas. One meaning with indicating that next to none. If somebody goes down during the holidays, our holidays are not impacted. We're just going to make them move through that and continue with our plans. Or 10, several times a day, you're having to deal with that issue. So it's really important to just kind of grasp an idea of how our health impacts our physical well-being, our emotional well-being, our mental health being really does impact all these areas in our life. It's not just at that moment, think about it. When you're feeling ill, especially, I'll share my example. Whenever I have any kind of tummy issues, it always takes me a week to 2 weeks to get settled again. So I'm really cautious of what is in my food a lot of times, and it may see a little overkill, but I know if there's something in there that does not agree with me, I know it's going to put me out for at least a week. So it really does impact your overall, family dynamics when somebody's not feeling well. So just keep that in mind as we're moving through these slides so that you can have an idea of when, of the impact of these things in your life. So everything that we do in doTERRA follows this wellness pyramid. And I wanted to share that with you because I know that, if you've been hanging around here for a while, you've seen this quite a few times. And if you're new to our space, welcome. I'd like to familiarize you with this. So this focuses on foundational health. So if you look at this particular pyramid, you can see that you can look at it like building blocks. Everything builds on each other, and everything is dependent on the outcome of the other pieces of this pyramid. So this also really focuses on some principal health issues, and this is where all of our oils and supplements come into play. This is why they're created, so that we can really provide an overall better support for all of these areas in our life. And like I said, these things are foundational, especially when we start with nutrition and digestion. Every system, every bodily system depends on good nutrition. You have to be able to eat a certain, a certain macronutrient and be able to digest it. And your body needs to be able to pull those resources, right? Those nutrients. And if you can't do that, your pyramid can crumble here. So digestion and nutrition are huge. It's the foundation. It's the first step. So as you're getting yourself and your kids ready for school, and if you are one to pack lunches, make sure you're including plenty of proteins in there, pretty good fats. Don't eliminate fats from your diet. Our body needs good fats. It's what fuels our metabolism. Which is the next level of this pyramid. So metabolism is the way that our body utilizes the nutrients that we take in to create energy and to utilize that energy in all of our metabolic pathways. Movement, exercise, really important for overall health and wellness. The next level up, stress and management. Stress can wreak havoc on our systems, especially our immune system. And if you really stop to, take a step back, think about how this first week of school has been for you. Some of you have been a full week already, starting last Thursday, maybe even last Tuesday. Some of you are just getting started this week, but you can still tap into, do a little bit of reflection and see how and when stress played a big role in your daily routine and affecting your appetite, affecting your energy levels, as well as your sleep, your quality of sleep. Stress is huge. I mean, our body, we need a little bit of stress. That's what keeps us moving and motivated, right? But not to the point that it's chronic and we're constantly being bombarded with it and depleting our systems. So on top of stress, it affects our sleep too. So make sure that that rest is really important. We struggle with that. We've always struggled with that here. And my kids being on the summer schedule still, we are really working to get back to that normalcy of living in the day like the rest of the world, right? Like the rest of our peeps. And it's hard. It's hard because we have to retrain our sleep patterns. The next step up is reducing toxicity. So many studies have shown that whenever we increase our toxic load on our body, it really does affect our overall health and wellness. So the top two tiers of this pyramid have to do with healthcare. Informed self-care. That's what I really love about essential oils, and because that's our first reach. And whenever any part of this pyramid is buckling or really threatened, we can reach for those oils to get us back into balance. And there's always space for proactive medical care. This is not really to replace that. Could we have to a certain extent, but it should work in what do I want to say, complementary to it, right? It should complement what you're doing. So if you ever have any questions, always go out to your professional care provider to see if there's, an essential oil that may or may not benefit you with whatever it is that you're doing already. So I just wanted to share this pyramid with you again, because I think it's really important that we focus on the foundation, these key health principles of a healthy lifestyle. So the essential oil benefits, they're really powerful tools. And when you get to know how they are used and how certain oils can be used for a certain, concern or issue that you may be having, they're really powerful. And they are really inexpensive when you stop to think about it. For example, an earache that your kid may come home from school and have this earache, you can take a drop of tea tree and lavender and rub it around the ear to really support that. And you just saved yourself a trip to urgent care or a doctor visit. You saved yourself a copay, saved yourself the gas to get over there. And these are just pennies per drop, less than 5 cents or 10 cents for each drop. And you're able to take care of this at home. So having those really powerful tools available for yourself and your kids, your family, can really increase their confidence of being able to better understand their bodies and what's going on and how to communicate with you of the support that they need from you. And as well as empowerment to being able to take care of yourself, even, at such a young age. That's very empowering. I mean, you're building up, natural solution seekers. So they're not going to forget. Once you put these practices into place, they're not going to forget them. It's going to be something that they continue and carry on with them, and you put that into motion. So the younger, the better, in my personal opinion, so that we can really empower our children and educate our children on these natural solutions and get them more in tune and more aware with their bodies. So the doTERRA difference, one of the questions that I get asked, especially these past 2 big events that I did, was, are these safe for my children? These essential oils, you're saying they're very powerful and they're very potent, but are they safe? And they absolutely are safe. They're the safest and wisest choice of natural health care. So doTERRA really prides themselves in providing us with the purest essential oils in the world. They're sourced from all over, and these oils are certified pure, tested grade. And these are just some of the tests that are run on these oils. I mean, it starts where we're sourcing, and it ends before it goes into the bottle. So these are some of the things that some of the tests that they use to really identify any adulterants, any contaminants, anything that is not pure and providing benefit, for that oil and for our bodies. It's just makes me feel very confident as a mom to be able to put these oils and products out for my kids and knowing that they're getting pure quality health care right at home. So absolutely they're safe, but there are some considerations. Whenever you're using essential oils with your children, always supervise them during essential oil usage, especially if you're just getting started, pardon me, or if your children are just getting started. You want to make sure that you're there for that learning curve and you're guiding and providing feedback and reinforcing, um, how to read a label, which ones are safe to use in our diffusers, which is all of them, or how do we use a particular roller, or what's the benefit of a particular essential oil. So be sure to supervise your children, especially if they're new to essential oils, and really have those conversations instead of picking up your kids from school and asking them, how was your day? Ask them questions like, how did you feel? Is there something that you need to work on? Is there something, ask more open-ended questions rather than how was your day? Because their day is always going to be fine, right? It's always going to be okay. Always give your child smaller doses of essential oils than you would give an adult. So that's pretty much a given, right? Smaller bodies, you don't need that much. 1 drop or less diluted is best. Dilute them before using them. Very thin-skinned, more likely to have sensitivity to them, so make sure you're diluting them before you use them. Definitely avoid those sensitive areas, anywhere around the eyes, the mouth, eating orifices. You want to make sure that you keep the oils out, because some oils are very hot, meaning that they have a higher potency when in contact with the skin. Oregano, for example, it's great for oral care, and clove is great for oral care, but putting it directly on there, you can feel that little sting, and then you don't feel anything at all. So beware of sunlight exposure after topical application, especially with citrus oils. You want to make sure that you are just guarding that. Children should not take adult supplements without consulting a healthcare professional. So our lifelong vitality, I do believe it is 14 and over that it's safe for. Really look at body weight when it comes to that. And if you have any questions about whether or not your child should be using a particular oil or supplement, talk to your provider. Do your research. Always do your research. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a mom at home that uses these oils with my kids and have been having wonderful success with them. But do your research. Do your research. Always store essential oils in a safe place, definitely out of the reach of young ones. And you'll see that our oils are, they did a big transformation of their packaging to make sure that the oils that were not safe to ingest had a child-proof cap on them. That's the reason that our past tense roller was placed into a 15 ml bottle, because it's not safe to ingest, and we don't want to, create an opportunity for children to get a hold of those rollers and go to work and suck on them and do whatever it is that they do. So educate yourself as a parent. Always read labels and recommendations. Again, do your research and know the source. Make sure you're looking at valid sources for your research. I always tend to ask myself, what is the intention? What did they want me to get out of here, out of this particular article or paper, what have you? What was the intention behind it, and who put it out? And then anytime you do have questions, go back to your physician, go back to your wellness advocate. And our job is to guide you in using these oils and these products, and answering your questions and giving you the best education that we can, and providing you resources of where you can go. So we're going to start from infants and toddlers. We're going to cover cradle to college, right? So infants and toddlers, the things to remember with these little humans is that they're not tiny adults, so we shouldn't treat them as such and think that they can handle certain things that adults can. They have a much lower body mass. They're still developing, sorry. And their skin and bodies are way more sensitive. So just keep in mind, a little goes a long way for this group of young people. And there's a really nice chart there that I snagged from Aroma Tools that gives you some dilutions and dosing for pregnancy, birth, and babies. Just some suggestions there. 1 or 2 drops of essential oil in a 10 ml bottle, um, and filled with fractionated coconut oil is a great dilution rate for babies. Somebody had said, maybe if it's 1 year and under, 1 drop to the 10 ml bottle. I heard this, and it was a great guiding tool, guiding tip, I should say. And 1 drop for each age. So that made a lot of sense for me. And whenever I am, helping people and putting rollers together, I keep that in mind. That's a really great way for me to remember. But you're welcome to screenshot that and keep it with you so that you have this as a nice resource. Oils in the nursery, some considerations. Oh, my other picture didn't show up there. So doTERRA does have a baby line. Let me see if I can't get to, I'll do it this way. So that way I won't interrupt you as I am trying to figure out what happened to my picture here. doTERRA does have a baby line. I'm always surprised that some people don't know that. And I think it's because when it came out, it still is not showing. Isn't that weird? To front. Nope. Let's see here. There is a diaper rash cream that is wonderful for, I'm just going to have to use this picture as is so that you guys can at least see what it looks like. It's a really beautiful, gentle product, and it's definitely made with baby in mind. There's a diaper rash cream that before we got lucky and got our sun line, this made a great alternative for natural sunscreen. But now we don't need that, and we can just let the babies have it now. Let me go here so that you can see it. Ooh, let me expand that, sorry. All right, so you'll see that the baby line is there. And this has diaper rash cream, which is the green tube, hair and body wash, and baby lotion. And it's just really lovely. It's very gentle. This would make an excellent addition to your nursery. This will make a really great gift for the moms to be. It's a nice, non-toxic, chemical-free product. So the last thing that we want to do is crumple the pyramid from the top with exposing ourselves to a lot of toxins. This right here is a great natural alternative. We also have a touch collection. So this has our top 10 oils, and it's already diluted with fractionated coconut oil, so you won't have to, count the drops. You don't have to do anything like that. It's just, it's ready to go. You're ready. You can use them for the same reason that you would use the bottles of essential oil. This just makes it really easy to use on your young people, on your babies especially, because it's already diluted. And the best place to apply these oils would be on the bottoms of the feet. It's a great place to get essential oils onto baby. So the next thing that you can add to your nursery, something that's very, very gentle, very soothing, and very effective, is Roman chamomile. So this you can put into the diffuser. You can add it to the lotion or baby shampoo. I know that when we brought, it was my oldest. When we brought her home from the hospital, she ended up with that, just a rash all over, and so did my youngest. Both my girls. Isn't that interesting? They had this all over body rash, and I did not know about essential oils at that time for either one of them. So we used, what was it called? I can't even think of the name, but it was chamomile. It was dried chamomile. Made a tea with it, and put the tea in tepid water and just bathe the girl's skin with that. And it worked beautifully. Well, Roman chamomile would work the same way. um, it's just really soothing to the skin. It's a natural anti-inflammatory. It helps to calm the nervous system, help to calm the skin, and it has a very gentle aroma to it. This is great in the diffuser, especially if you have a fussy baby, trying to get them down for a nap, trying to just have some downtime. This is great in the diffuser. For kids 2 and over, so we're looking at our little toddlers here, right? So our considerations for this group is that we're thinking of their overall health, right? They're still developing, they're growing, but they're also going to be exploring a little bit more, right? They're mobile, so they're going to get into just about everything, and they're going to push their boundaries, and they're going to push your boundaries. So we're going to look at bumps and bruises specifically for them. Considerations, and also emotions and moods. 2-year-olds may not be able to communicate with you that they're tired, they're hungry, or they don't want to go to the grocery store. This is why you have your meltdowns in the store with this age group, because they don't know how to communicate that to you other than screaming and yelling at you. And yelling back at them is not going to help. That's just one of my pet peeves, and I apologize for that. But yelling back at a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old is not going to get the effect that you want, the outcome that you're seeking by doing that. So these are just some of the considerations to think about for this age group. We have an amazing kids collection. So just like we had the top 10 oils from in a touch form, well, the kids collection is also a roller set, but it's more targeted to a child in the way that it's diluted, for one, and also in the aromas. They're not powerful and overwhelming. They're more subtle. And this is a great kit. It has its own little carrying case. It has a flashcard so that you know when to use it, and it's perfect for mind body support. So I really love this collection, and we actually use some of these as our first reach. That tamer is amazing. Love that tamer for the tummy. And Thinker, love Thinker for focus. It's 2 of our favorite of the kids collection that we use on a daily basis here. For their developing bodies, the kids supplements. This is good for 4 years and above, I do believe. So you have your A to Z chewables. That is our Alpha CRS in a chewable form for kids. You have the IQ Mega. You need those omegas. Brain health really helps to support cognitive function. PBSS Junior, you need a healthy gut. A healthy gut is going to allow for better absorption of nutrients. That's why it's like right at the bottom with nutrition on our pyramid. And then we also have emotional aromatherapy touch kit. These are really wonderful if you're really looking for some support for the tantrums, for the separation anxiety, going back to preschool or starting preschool or going back to school. New routines can be very stressful for kids. So it has some essential oils in here that console is wonderful for that. Motivate for just lifting them up, and cheer when they're feeling down. So I really like this. In Peace. Oh, Peace is an amazing oil for stressful situations too. So these are just some considerations for this age group. The next age group is our adolescents. So, this one is, man, puberty can be rough. Keep in mind, they have different expectations, right? A lot of kids feel the pressure of having to perform at a certain level, being asked to do things that they aren't wired to do just yet, and they're making that transition from a kid to a young adult. and but they're not adults. They're not adults yet. And that's something that we need to remember, because they have their own, if you have adolescents at home, if you have teenagers at home, it's such an awesome time, because you do get to watch them transition into these young adults. But there's still, a process, and each child is different. So make sure you keep that in mind. If you have 2, 3 kids at home, 4, 5 kids at home, each one is different, and I'm sure you've noticed it by now, Mama. So something to consider for this age group is homework help. The load gets a little bit heavier as they move into, middle school, moving into high school, gets a little bit heavier. Some kids can be very focused and very driven, and they have their own goals that they set for themselves. These right here are an incredible pair to consider for them. Rosemary or Spanish sage, either one of them will be great during to diffuse during homework. And if you're a teacher, I'm just going to plug this in there. This is great for your classrooms too, because it's really going to help your kids stay focused. I like to add a citrus to this. Lemon has always been our go-to, with rosemary and peppermint. Love those 3 together, but since Spanish sage came out, we really, really do love Spanish sage. It's amazing, and there's a lot of research that shows how this particular species that is being used has shown that retention in memory, especially when it's diffused. It's the best way to support that focus. Intune has vetiver in there, which is wonderful for concentration. Helps to calm the noise in the head. It helps to really stay focused and feel grounded. You can apply it to the temples. One of my favorite places, the temples, and here in the back of the ears. That's just seems to provide a lot of support for me. Back of the neck is a great place too. And then on the wrists to inhale. So the Intune, definitely if you have a child that is really struggling to stay in their seat, not just so much for adolescents, let your younger kids try it too. It may not, for me, I feel like it has a strong aroma, but it's not like an offensive aroma. It's really nice. But see if they don't like that, and see if that's not a tool for you. If not, definitely Thinker if Intune is a little bit too much for them. Something that we're all struggling with right now, getting onto that schedule, the waking and the rising. So something that works really well is to try to be as consistent as possible, even on the weekends, especially if you're trying to retrain your family to get into a normal sleep routine. Wake up at the same time every day and go to sleep at the same time every day. And if you are, if it is the weekend, which is coming up, and I'm sure a lot of people are celebrating that, celebrating that it's right around the corner. When you wake up, get out of bed and get some sunlight. Try to get some sunlight first thing in the morning, whether it's opening up your blinds, your curtains, or going outside to get that sunlight. It's going to help really reset your circadian rhythm. Peppermint is a great uplifting, clear the brain fog, open up your eyes, respiratory system, all of the above. And you can just keep this near the diffuser. So just like you would have a blend of sleep oils next to your diffuser to diffuse at night, have a wake up blend, and just add it in the morning when you wake up, or if you have younger ones, maybe you can go in prior to them, prior to waking them up, and start setting that mood so that they can get the juices flowing. And lemon is great for squashing that drowsiness. You can put this in the diffuser with peppermint. It's wonderful. You can also put in a little bit of water, a drop in a glass of water to really help. So some other things to consider with this age group, this lovely, beautiful age group, is personal care. And again, keep in mind, kids are wired differently, and some people may care a lot about their, whether or not they have BO, and some may not. And some may not even know Oh my gosh, I was in 6th grade and I had just had my 12th birthday. We were practicing for our Christmas concert, and I had just came back from this program that I was enrolled in. They had bused me back to the school just in time to practice because I play the violin. And I didn't even know. I didn't even realize when I lifted my violin to play, I'll be darned, I had some serious pit smell. It was disgusting. And then I just started sweating, and it was a nervous sweat because, oh my gosh, here I am stinking. And it was really bad. It was really bad. But yeah, so that's going to happen. And, it's just BO, caused by hormones. So something that has worked really great for our kids at home has been the HD Clear line. It's a really nice system. It's 3 steps. You have the wash, you have the moisturizer, and then you also have the roller, which I was looking for this morning. The roller for blemishes. It works really well. It's a great product, and if you have children, teens that have acne on their chest or on their backs and their shoulders, definitely have them wash those areas with this with HD Clear as well. It's going to really provide some great support. The hair care trio is another option for you. We also have a conditioner bar and a shampoo bar that I forgot to add to this. But these are non-toxic, and just to reiterate, the more toxic products that we put on our body, the more likely it is to compromise our immune system, our gut, and even our emotions, and even our hormone balance. So definitely want to keep that away from kids who are just, really gushing with these hormones right now. And it works beautifully for all hair types. We have this beautiful body wash and lotion. We absolutely love the lotion. It's unscented, so if you have, a child that likes the floral scent or the citrusy scent or minty, they can add a drop to that lotion and use it that way instead of going for the fake fragrances that have a lot of hormone disruptors in them. Deodorant, love the Douglas Fir and Orange. It works so wonderfully. And the On Guard toothpaste and mouthwash, really nice white teeth. See? And then I threw a Clary Calm in here because we are talking about hormones, and this is a wonderful support for the young ladies. Even though it says it's the monthly blend and women tend to gravitate to it during their cycle, during that part of their cycle, because it works really great for, discomfort in the lower back and the abdomen. I highly recommend if you have someone in your household that's really struggling with that, put the Clary Calm on the bathroom sink, and then while they're getting dressed or wherever it is that they dress, just to have them swipe across their abdomen, one swipe every day. It's really going to provide some support. If it's during that time of their cycle where they're really suffering with a lot of discomfort, you can apply some of the Clary Calm and then use a warm compress or heating pad over that, and it's really lovely. It really helps with those lower back cramps and the bloating too. So I threw that in here because we have found a lot of support with Clary Calm, and it helps to balance hormones too. So instead of having those major spikes, definitely incorporate this daily. Stress management. Adaptive has become the go-to for so many people because it's been very effective, and this was clinically designed to provide support for managing stress. So it does help to reduce the tension. You have a roller ball that your kids can carry with them. You have the oil that you can diffuse. Maybe have it diffusing in the morning instead of the peppermint and lemon so that they can start getting themselves grounded. If you're a teacher, consider diffusing this in your classroom to help your kids. It'll make for a great environment for you too. And then the adaptive capsules are super fantastic for that physical effect that stress leaves behind. And it also just kind of helps to build that confidence. I love the success stories of the adaptive capsules that have been shared, and it just we use them. I have one that uses it daily in order to function, and then another one that uses it only as needed. So I love that we can play with these oils to find a combination and a routine that works for every single person. Consistency is key, but this adaptive is a beautiful addition for anyone that, if you have your young ones that are really struggling with that separation anxiety, or you have your teenagers that are starting a new high school and they're stressing out, or you have your college kids that are going off to school for the first time. Start them on that adaptive capsule, and it's really going to provide them amazing support. Another great one for stress management is bergamot. Now, I love this one. You can diffuse it. I personally just love to put it in my hands and just inhale it from my hands. Bergamot has a lot of scientific research behind its benefits to really support stress management, and also those periods of when they're feeling very low, and I guess I can say isolated. That would be an okay word to choose right now. I'm trying to be careful with my words. But someone that's really struggling with their mood and they can't seem to feel positive or confident or even happy, bergamot is a great tool for them. Diffusing it, make them a roller bottle so that they can take it throughout the day too. Copaiba, awesome support for the nervous system. So if you have someone that's really struggling, the adaptive capsule along with a Copaiba daily can really provide some amazing support for them. You can take the soft gels. They're small enough to swallow for your teenagers. This is a really big tool for us here at home, is the soft gels. And then you could also use the oil, applying it on the base of the neck. This one you can take internally, so if your teenagers feel comfortable with it, they can put a drop underneath their tongue, and that can really help them. But the soft gels are just so convenient and so easy to use, and that along with the adaptive capsule is just a major power duo. And then overall, with your teenagers and just all your children in general, just staying healthy is really important. PB Assist is great because it helps to it supports a healthy GI, and this is really the key for our emotional health. Our gut is the second brain, so it's going to really help with our emotional health, our immune health, our just overall physical health. So take care of that gut, got to do it. As well as the Lifelong Vitality. Now, this is an adult supplement, so if you have teens that, bigger teens and teens that can really benefit from this, maybe the chewables are just not doing it for them, or they don't want to take the kids stuff, half a dose of the Lifelong Vitality can get them covered. Make sure that they're getting some movement, especially, going back into the classroom and being very sedentary for a long period of time. Make sure they're getting some exercise. If they're not involved in any after school, sports activities or anything, go take a walk with your family after dinner. Do it as a group. Make sure they're getting enough sleep. Something I didn't put in here were the Serenity soft gels, but that's also another option to help with, your teenagers if you feel comfortable. And again, if there is anything that you don't feel comfortable giving your kids, don't give it to them. Talk to somebody about it. Talk to somebody that knows you and knows your kids and knows your intention. And that way you can get some really good guidance with that. Make sure they're eating well, especially since they're away from home. All right, so here's some resources for you. We have a couple of handouts in there. There's a couple of ebooks in there. So the first handout that you see there comes from our continuing education of oils for all ages. So you'll find some things in there for everybody in your family. And then there is a section there for kids and babies and such. And the Kids in Oils book, it's an essential oil book. I'm sorry, it's an ebook, Essential Oils for Kids. Has a lot of information in there for you. And then our back to school rollers, these are really popular at events, whenever we go out and do events close to the school, the start of the school. Just overall support for, you know, emotions, digestion, pain, which we didn't talk about, but, you know, more movement, more things can hurt. We did talk about the bumps and bruises for your toddlers. Consider some Correct-X. And then we do have a back to school book that we put together for you as well. So you can screenshot this. I'll make sure to drop the links below the video so that you can access them. And it's just some more resources for you. I'm a resource for you too, so that you can send your questions my way. Or you can set up a wellness consult if you have something specific that you want to talk about for yourself, for your family, for your kids. You know, what area do they really need support in? I'm happy to sit down and have a conversation with you and map out a daily wellness plan for him, her, you, your families, what have you. So this is a free consult that's available to you. And here's the way that you can stay connected with us anytime. That's on Facebook. You're welcome to post your questions in our group. You can text me, email me. We do have a newsletter, so if you're not on that, make sure you subscribe to it. And then our YouTube channel has some more resources as well as our website. All right, so let me get back to this screen. And I will post for you below the video the links for those resources and the link for the newsletter. I'll share the most recent edition with you, just in case you don't receive it already. Most of you in this group do. And then what else? If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I was very serious when I said earlier, if you are a member of Casa Walters Essentials, regardless of who enrolled you, who your wellness advocate is, if you received a box of oils and you did not get a protocol book, please message me. Please reach out to me so that we can remedy that for you, okay? It's really important for you to have that protocol book, or at least, you know, some tangible resource that you can dive into. There is a link in the group for an electronic version of the Advanced Oil Magic, you know, the miniature guide. That's a great resource, but, you know, I like books. I like to be able to pop into them. All right, so thanks, you guys. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next time. Make sure if you before I leave, we do have our next in-person workshop on the 27th, on Sunday the 27th, and that's going to focus on going back to school. So it'll be a fun DIY, something for teachers, moms, students, and yeah, make sure that you register for that. And spaces fill up, so make sure you get on the list quick, okay? All right, thanks, you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.